Hello everybody and welcome back to Tree of Tranquility. It's the 23rd day of spring. I went ahead and I skipped the flea market because there's absolutely nothing to buy. There's no point. I didn't have anything to update on, so I decided to skip ahead to Monday. And we have a few more days in the season. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to be doing an update on the animal festival because I think that we've pretty much seen everything there is to see here as well, but we'll have to see in a few days' time. As for what's going on with me, not a whole lot. I've been working on my cooking still, and I think I've only got about 10 recipes or so left, which is great. I have completely finished off the mixer, as you can see, but I think that's about the only thing I have finished at this point. I think that every other utensil has at least one thing that I'm missing. You can see that I've really caught up though, and I'm missing very, very few things. I'm only missing one thing for the oven. I was able to get my oven recipes all done and completed pretty quickly after I got the breadfruit, which was great. Haven't really been working on the bonfire all that much. I've been focusing on the cooking utensils that I actually have in the house. I've made a lot of money this season and I've gone ahead and I've spent a little bit, but I still have more to spend, so more on that later. You can see here that the front field has kind of fallen by the wayside. After I grew some potatoes and turnips, I just kind of stopped growing things because I got sort of lazy. At this point, I don't need potatoes or turnips for anything in terms of cooking, and they don't sell for a lot anyways. It wasn't really worth my time and effort to continue growing them, so I stopped. Flowers, again, one of those things where I could have grown them if I wanted to, but honestly I just got really lazy. And flowers are used for perfumes, which I have completed. I've completed the list for perfumes, and so I don't need flowers for anything anymore either. I had a couple rows of flax that came in, and I turned all of those into flax yarn, and I was able to make a lot of money off of that. And currently all I'm growing is the strawberries and the breadfruit, and even the breadfruit now, I have more breadfruit than I know what to do with. I have a lot of it stored in my fridge, but I'll probably end up selling quite a bit of my breadfruit as well because I have way more than what's necessary for what cooking stuff I have left. Somebody left a comment though with a very interesting tidbit for me, and that is that the cat I'm trying to befriend will actually accept breadfruit as a gift that it really likes. So if I ever get tired of fishing, I can just give the cat breadfruit. I tested that out and it actually works. So I might keep the breadfruit around for that purpose. I've been working on the cat's friendship and it's going well, but I'm still not quite there yet. And tragically, as you can see, we're missing a silkworm, and that's because our very first silkworm has passed away of old age. Depressing. It's the first animal I've had die on the farm, and I recorded the cutscene. I'll probably upload that as a separate sort of bonus video later on. But Cain wakes you up in the morning and you have a little funeral for your animal. And I haven't noticed any sort of changes that come along with that. In certain Harvest Moon games, if you let your animals die, the townspeople become very upset with you and you lose hearts. but I haven't seen any of that in this game. I haven't seen any dialogue changes. I haven't seen any changes in heart level. I don't think the villagers in this game care as much as the villagers in some of the other games, which is kind of a good thing because I took care of the silkworm. It was never ever sick, and it just died of old age. Silkworms do not live for very long. They only live for about 2 years, and that's why I had gotten a new silkworm not too long ago. I had kind of sensed that eventually our first silkworm was going to pass on, but I had no way of knowing exactly when that was going to happen. So I may get another silkworm or two just to fill up the coop here a little bit. It makes me a little bit worried. I keep thinking that maybe my sheep is also going to pass away soon. I do think that the sheep live a little bit longer than the silkworms, but I got my sheep pretty early on in the game as well. I think that was actually the very first animal I got, and it would be very hard for me to replace it at this point because I don't really need a sheep at all anymore, and it would just feel kind of weird replacing it, you know. I've had it for so long. The rest of our animals are doing really well, and as you can see, the goat and the horse are both still in their baby stage. The goat is going to grow up before the horse does. The goat should be grown up probably by the end of spring or the beginning of summer, but the horse, Mr. Biscuit here, probably won't grow up until the end of summer because it does take an entire season. I'm gonna ride my ostrich up to the mining district, and I'm gonna pay Dale a little visit. He should be open on Mondays. Just gotta find a good place to park my ostrich. There was a point that I had over $100,000, and I came in and I bought all of his furniture. I can't even look at the furniture in the menu because, as you can see, it's sold out. He doesn't have anything else to sell me, and so I have all of the possibilities for furniture in the world. I've completely cleaned him out, so that's another store that I've sort of 100% cleaned out. But what I was thinking that I may go ahead and change my house's look, just for the sake of doing something a little bit different. That way we can redecorate the house a little bit as well to match the new carpet and the new flooring. I'm not a fan of pink. I think I've mentioned this before, but I am a little bit curious as to how the inside of the house will look, because I don't think I've ever gone with this design before. If the inside of the house is something really nice that I like, then it may be worth just putting up with the pink roof. And if I don't like it, then I can just change it. And we can go with the gorgeous type and see if that's any better. Or we can revert back to the simple. It's been so long since we've done a house remodel that I don't even remember what the simple house looked like, which was the house that we had started with. I'm in the process of clearing out the general store because that's sort of the last store that I have to clean out. I do believe that Myra's place, you have to actually make the jewelry. Ramsey, we've pretty much cleaned out. We have all of our tool upgrades, and stores like Brownie Ranch and Souffle Farm, you can't technically clean out because you can buy infinite numbers of seed and animal products and whatnot. But we're very close to owning everything in the game. I've cleaned out the tailors, we've cleaned out both flea markets, I've bought all of the pieces of land as well from the town hall. Now, I wonder if he paints the house right away or if this is something that takes a couple of days. Oh, well, would you look at that? I answered my question. It actually gets painted right away, which I'm very surprised about. I thought it would take a couple of days. What I don't like is that the barn and the coop don't change color with the house. I kind of liked it when our house was the same color as our barn and our coop. But to be honest, because the house is so big, I can barely see the pink, and it doesn't actually look too bad from out here. I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. It's not as horrible as I would have thought, but it's a little bit too much pastel, I think. It kind of reminds me of an Easter basket. That's kind of how it feels. It kind of feels like I'm living inside of an Easter basket, especially considering that I'm also wearing pastel type colors. It's not as horrible as I thought it would be, but I really don't know how I feel about this. I have a lot of great furniture that I could probably put to match this. I've got a lot of light colored stuff. I could probably change my bed and my table. I could probably swap out my cooking utensils. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I might keep it for a little while just to maybe adjust to it and just to see how I kind of feel about it. And just to give you a good idea about all of the different styles that you can pick from, I'll just kind of quickly go through all of my furniture here, just to give you a good idea of how much furniture is really available in the game once you have the option to buy all of it. As you can see here, I've got tons and tons of options for storage. The vanities can be used instead of the dresser, so you can access your clothing through that instead if you like the way that looks. So lots and lots and lots of different styles, different colors, again, which is going to be dependent on what you have your house painted like. Lots and lots of styles for the cooking utensils. You can see that I have the cute versions of these utensils now. I think Simon was selling the cute versions, and so this would probably go really well with this house that I have. If I wanted everything to look pink, which I don't, but if you do, you have that option. Different kinds of tables and chairs, so I could really go nuts. I have pretty much an endless amount of possibilities for decorating. And aside from some cooking utensils from the general store, this is pretty much all the furniture in the game, because we've also purchased all of the furniture that's available from the art festival. So I'll probably take a minute or two and I'll do a little bit of decorating. Like I said, maybe I just need to change things around a little bit and I'll like it. I'll just kind of get used to it. But I am also curious to see what the other style looks like, because we haven't seen that yet. And if he paints our house that quickly, then it's no problem to change it, which is kind of nice. We could even just change it every couple of weeks or every month or every 6 months if we wanted. I think that's all I really have to update you guys on. I haven't been doing much. At this point in the game, honestly, I'm really just waiting for a child because I'm running out of things to do. I wanted to look at the cat's heart, which I think is in this section here. You can see that the cat has 4 hearts, so we are making some good progress into having the cat come and live with us. Yesterday when I had interacted with the cat, it actually gave me a gift, which was something new and a good sign that the friendship is coming along nicely, and hopefully that cat will come and live with me soon. I think it takes about 6 hearts. And if you want a good idea about just how much breadfruit I have, I think I have a stash of it in my other fridge that I've been keeping. You you can see I've got 25 good breadfruit. So I can use this for cooking, and what I don't have I can give to the cat, and that should be plenty to get its friendship level up. I do believe I had perfect breadfruit as well, but I think I just sold it because I realized that it was sort of ridiculous for me to keep like 60 pieces of breadfruit in my fridge, because I will definitely not need that at this point. So I will keep playing, and if anything else comes up, I will let you guys know. I may or may not see you at the Animal Festival. I'm gonna have to check it out. If there's really not a lot for me to say, I'll probably just skip it and go right into summer, and we'll begin a new season by jumping into summer and seeing what that has to offer for us. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.